Last week, my goal was to spread positivity to all 32 teams in the NFL, saying what I like about each team. Well, guess what? We had a little goal last week, which was to hit 20 likes, and you guys were so awesome and so nice that we went above and beyond that. And now it's time to flip everything on its side and go for one thing I dislike about every NFL team. I'm so sorry to everybody in advance, but now it's time. We have to spread some negativity, so deal with it. Here we go. Let's just jump right into it. Let's start with the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills. Okay, so you guys, I'm a Chiefs fan. You guys give us a heart attack way too often. I don't like how you make my body feel every single time we play you guys in the playoffs. And it's totally not just because I have actual, things I should do in my life, like eat better. No, you're the reason why I have chest pains at night. So screw you, Bills. The Miami Dolphins. Okay, so I like the Dolphins, but I do have one gripe with them. Every time they're on the field, they just don't look intimidating. There's a phrase called candy ass, and I can't get it out of my head anytime I see the Dolphins, especially in their aqua uniforms. I'm sorry, if you're going down to Hard Rock Stadium as an opposing team, there's no way you're feeling bad about yourself going onto that field ever since Dan Marino retired, because they're just so unintimidating. I'm sorry, Dolphins. The New York Jets. Now, there's a lot of things I could say about the New York Jets, but the one I'll choose for what I dislike about them is their 17-year-old shadow GM, Brick Johnson, which is Woody Johnson, the owner's son, basically making big decisions for the team. The way I'm picking this reason is not what you think. Not the fact that I think it's making the Jets dysfunctional. It's the fact that I'm jealous that there's a guy 7 years younger than me going out there and making moves like it's Madden. Give me the job then. Why not? I mean, I'm a podcaster. I could do just as good of a job, maybe. But no, it's nepotism, of course. So, yeah, that. Sorry, Jets. The New England Patriots. Now, I literally just commended you in the other video about how I can finally respect being a Patriots fan, because now, as a Chiefs fan, we're going through all the scrutiny of being hated all the time. But what I dislike is that small sector of Patriots fans that are also hopping on the bandwagon of hating the Chiefs. Like, you guys weren't just in our position 5 years ago. Stop acting like the Chiefs are the devil when you guys have done much worse things that I'll get into in other videos. The Cleveland Browns. 2 words. Deshaun Watson. Moving on. The Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if you guys know me, my dad's a giant Bengals fan, so it's hard to dislike the Bengals, but I have to say, they are making it tough for me to like them in every other fashion other than my dad, because they are the cockiest, not only team, but fan base I think I've ever seen in my entire life for a team that literally has zero hardware. I mean, come on. You act like you've done all the things that the Chiefs have ever done, and you've been to 1 Super Bowl. Your biggest accomplishment is beating us 1 time. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, what I dislike is that they are making me really sad in a nostalgic way, and I'll say why. Because they are one of the most classic franchises in the NFL. My entire life, I've grown up watching the Steelers. They've always been good. And you know what? They just haven't made me feel anything in the last 7 years. And that's not what the NFL should be about. The iconic franchises should always be somewhere in the mix. At least the Cowboys, who, yes, have not been to a Super Bowl in God knows how long, at least they have fun offenses every once in a while, and they make the playoff games interesting. No, all the Steelers do these days, they just go 9-8, and they get their ass kicked in the wild card, and they do nothing about it, and they're just so boring. And that's what I hate. I don't like that they're not interesting anymore. They're just boring for such an iconic franchise. The Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'm about to get historic with this team because in 1995, the Browns expanded into the Baltimore Ravens because the owner, Art Modell, decided it was a good idea to move from Cleveland to Baltimore and break every Cleveland fans' hearts for the next 3 years, absolutely destroying their reputation, becoming another team, and then forcing Cleveland to become a new expansion franchise in 1999. So I know it's not technically the Ravens' fault for this, but Art Modell is now a part of the Ravens, and that's always going to be a stain on your history for doing that to Browns fans. The Indianapolis Colts. Now, this one feels pretty obvious. I know it's not every fan. It's just the small sector that actually did this. But come on, guys. I mean, how could you boo Andrew Luck? I know it was abrupt. I know that he retired out of nowhere. but the guy has like 37,000 injuries. He gave you a bunch of great memories. He's just looking out for his health at this point. I know everybody was shocked. Don't boo Andrew Luck, one of the most likable guys in NFL history. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I have a huge gripe when it comes to their uniforms, specifically their away uniforms. I don't know what it is. Get a fashion person in there, because all they do 90% of the time is wear white jerseys with black pants when you have teal in your uniforms. Come on, fix it. The Houston Texans, gotta be the laziest name I've ever seen picked out for an expansion franchise. I mean, you go around, not just NFL, but in all sports, there's so many Texas teams that are so perfectly catered to their state. You got the Cowboys, you have both Houston teams, the Astros and the Rockets, which goes with the space station. You got the Spurs. How cool is that of a name for a Texas team than the Spurs? And then you're like, yep, let's finally get a Houston team that's not the Oilers, which also another great name, you know, back in the NFL. Where were we in again? Texas? Yeah, let's just be the Texans. That makes sense. Idiots. The Tennessee Titans. Now, I was just going to, pick out how you're probably the most irrelevant team in NFL history, and literally nobody would notice if you went 9 straight red zones without playing. But other than that, I'm going to go with, since I'm a Chiefs fan, I heavily disliked when Marcus Mariota caught his own touchdown pass down 21-3 and absolutely broke my 16-year-old heart in the wild card round. The Kansas City Chiefs, speaking of my favorite team, 2 words once again. We'll go through this one quickly. Matt Nagy. Get him off the team. The Los Angeles Chargers. So I don't know if anybody's seen this person going around the last few years, but there's nothing that bugs me more than that fake fan that they've been trying to advertise for absolutely no reason. I get it. The running joke is the Chargers have no fans, so maybe that's why they're trying to push some diehard Chargers fan out there, but you could just tell how fake it is every single time she's on camera. It's so annoying. And then, of course, she got famous from it, and it's just such an industry push, and I can't stand it. So, yeah, there's that. The Denver Broncos, you guys had one job and one job only with your uniform design, and it was to actually make your throwback uniforms, your regular time uniforms. And now we got to wait another 4 seasons before you can even consider making another change. And congrats, you have the worst uniforms in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders. Now, other than your just countless years of irrelevance for pretty much the entire time I've been around on this planet, I will say that your fans are terrible at trolling. Like, honestly, I get they're trying to be there's a running joke going around the AFC West. Everybody hates the Raiders, blah, blah, blah. And the fans are trying to be the trolling, annoying fans, and you guys can't even do that right. Every time I interact with a Raiders fan, they just say things that make absolutely no sense. I can't even get mad at them because it's just, I feel bad almost. They don't even do it the right way. They don't even bug people the right way. They just say things that just flat out aren't true and make no sense. So you're not even good at trolling.
I heard a skunk got loose in our tunnel.
All right, on to the NFC. We have the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, last video I was trying to say something positive, and this is still true. All the Eagles fans I've personally met are nice people, but obviously it's the fan base. You could go on YouTube and find 38 billion videos of people getting absolutely harassed going to Eagles games. The city of Philadelphia is unhinged anytime they win. This one's obvious. It's the fan base. The New York Giants. Now, I had my things to say about the Jets, but this one kind of ties in with both teams. Just for such a grand, classic, iconic franchise, which has New York in the name, the worst stadium in the NFL. MetLife Stadium. We live in this area. It's complete shit. Get a new stadium. The Washington Commanders. I absolutely despise the alternate black uniforms that you guys have worn the last few years. People for some reason like it. I think it looks like a high school team. It doesn't even look like the Commanders at all. It's weird. Stop wearing it. It ruins any possible uniform matchup you could have had with the team you're playing against. So please just get rid of it. The Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones. Flat out, he's ruining the franchise. He has way too much power. I get it. They're America's team. Stop putting them on so many primetime games. Please, for the love of God. The Minnesota Vikings. Now, Al, cover your ears. I dislike how they, for some reason, even though we all know the outcome that's going to happen when they make the playoffs, for some reason, they somehow give my hopes up at the end of their season when they have that weird 13, 14 win season. Every 3 years, it always occurs. It's always a high-flying offense, something fun, and then they just break our hearts. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of falling into the trap. I'm sure Vikings fans are sick of falling into the trap every year of their lives. The Green Bay Packers. Every single time I start Jaden Reed in fantasy. It's the worst week to start him. He gets 0 points. He sucks. So I don't trust the Packers wide receiver corps anymore. The Detroit Lions. Guys, you have perfect blue and silver uniforms. For whatever reason, you love wearing the blueberries, the all blues. I dislike it. Stop wearing it. Actually, take into consideration some people that enjoy the classic uniforms every once in a while. So change it. The Chicago Bears. This is 100% something I have only thought about ever in the history of the NFL. But for whatever reason, whenever you guys have a home broadcast, the camera angle is just slightly higher than the other ones. And then for some reason, if there's a long touchdown going either way, it looks like the camera is almost following behind the guy instead of along with the guy. And whatever reason that is, it irks me. It's weird. It only happens at Soldier Field. So there's my gripe. And the Saints, same thing with the Lions. Just like all blue, stop wearing all black. You guys have a beautiful color combination with the black and gold pants. I never see it anymore. What happened, guys? It was amazing, and you don't wear it anymore. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 2020 Super Bowl. I'll always like you guys a little bit less because of that. Let's move on. The Carolina Panthers. 2 words, once again, David Tepper. You know you are. Worst owner in the NFL. Let's move on. The Atlanta Falcons. I dislike how you guys have such a nice stadium, and every time I see it on the broadcast, it's half empty. Whoever's down there, the fans, get it together. Make the tickets cheaper, because that does not deserve to have that many empty seats every Sunday. All right, the Los Angeles Rams. So this is a bit of a weird one, but Demarcus Robinson, former wide receiver for the Chiefs, he always used to run backwards the second he touched the ball. For whatever reason, maybe props to Sean McVay, it just bugs me how all of a sudden he's this perfect wide receiver 3 that makes no flaws. So yeah, there's I don't know. The San Francisco 49ers are up next. Worst catchphrase in the NFL by far. Bang, bang, Niner gang. The fuck. The Seattle Seahawks. Thanks, guys, for making the only Super Bowl that will probably ever be in New Jersey for the rest of our lives be boring. Way to represent our state, man. Thanks. And last but not least, the Arizona Cardinals. 2 words. Devin Glake. Boom. This is going to sound harsh. This might be the harshest one out of all of them. That's all said and done. The Arizona Cardinals are truly the worst team to be a fan of, because not only do they absolutely suck ass, just like the Browns, just like the Jets franchise, just like the Lions franchise, but literally I've never seen anybody talk about it. And they're the oldest franchise in the NFL, and they've only been to 1 Super Bowl, and they don't even have that many championships, kind of like how the Browns and Lions do before the Super Bowl era. So I'm sorry, Cardinals fans, but that is just truly probably the worst spot to be in as a fan. And there you go. Nice to spread some negativity. I'm sorry, guys. I did say if we got 20 likes on the other video, I'd do this version of it. So here we are. But no, seriously, it was still fun to do. If you guys have any more cool, fun suggestions like this video, go ahead, comment down below. We're open to doing anything now that's the off season. We also have tons of tier lists and rankings if you guys are interested in that. So go check out our channel, like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought about, how I disliked your favorite team. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Follow us at First and Goal on TikTok and Instagram. Follow the Discord, linked in the description below as well. But we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.